Hello, everyone. Welcome to Therapeutic Yoga. Today, we are going to focus on our hip rotators. Now, an entire class of hip rotators are going to do one of two things. They're going to make you feel great. Your back and your hips will feel better than you've ever felt, or you'll feel great and you may feel a little bit of an emotional release. So a lot of us keep tension in our hip rotators. It is kind of like the upper trapezius of our lower half when it comes to stress. And so taking an entire yoga class to tackle these muscles can be hugely rewarding, but you can also feel a little bit vulnerable. So I kind of give you that at the beginning of class today. Some of the stuff we're going to be doing today is a little harder because we're really going to be working at getting into those hip rotators and deep into them. I encourage you to only go to where you feel tension and not pain. Oftentimes, really working the hip rotators, if there's any sort of significant issues related to the hip joints, if you kind of barge through the barrier of the problem with the hip, you can cause yourself some pain. So a little bit of caution with that, but I want you to have fun with it and see how far you can kind of push yourself. So we're going to begin in a seated position today. What I would like you to do is gently bring your legs kind of out to the side in kind of a wide angle stretch and sit yourself up nice and tall. If you immediately feel hamstring tension, allow yourself to bend your knees and kind of hold your hands underneath your thighs, but still sit nice and tall. And then in that position, just feel how you would kind of lengthen one leg, lengthen the other leg. Feel that kind of tug and pull that you've got from both legs. And then as you sit nice and tall, unless you're supporting underneath your legs to help your hamstrings, just gently take your hands to the inside of your thighs for a moment so you can feel like your trunk is nice and tall. Now that you have that, allow yourself to bring your arms kind of up in a goalpost position, pull your elbows back and down, and then gently rest your hands behind you. Very nice. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin, place your tongue on the roof of your mouth, take those toes and ankles of yours and point them straight up. Now, close your eyes if you want to. We're just going to go through 2 or 3 nice deep inhales into our belly and out. So take a deep inhale into your belly here for 3, 2, 1. Hold your breath for 3, 2, 1. Now through the nose, exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 2 more times. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Hold your breath, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, nose, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Final time. Inhale, belly, 3, 2, 1. Hold your breath, 3, 2, 1. And exhale, nose, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Take your right leg in and take your left leg and bring it into a little bit more of a neutral position. We're going to start with self-mobilization of all of those hip rotators. And we're going to do that without a foam roller, without a ball, or any of that, because some of us don't have that at home. So what I want you to do is I want you to see if you can pick up your right leg, hold it with your right hand, and kind of cradle it with your left hand like you'd be holding a little baby. So imagine, if you can, that your foot is the head of a baby. And once you have yourself holding that foot in that shin bone area, you can kind of take your right hand back around and kind of support it. Now, the further you bring your leg up towards the chest, the more you're going to involve the gluteal muscles with trying to self-mobilize these hip rotators. The further your leg is away from you, the more you'll not get gluteals and you'll probably only get hip rotators. So you kind of feel for yourself what you want to do. Now that you have your baby on this right leg, just start with kind of rocking that baby. So feel as you're kind of rocking that baby that there's an area of tension on the outside of that sit bone that, boy, you can feel that you're kind of going on and off it as you rock that baby. Imagine with your left leg as you're rocking that your leg is getting shorter and longer and shorter and longer and shorter and longer. So just kind of rock this hip and those hip rotators for a few more minutes. And then we're going to try to self-mobilize all of them together. Okay, now in this position, have your yoga bolster if you want to use it, or you can just rest yourself onto the floor, whichever you want. I'm gonna rest my arm on my yoga bolster. So I'm just kind of resting on my elbow and start to roll yourself all the way out and in. And when you get all the way out to what's called your greater trochanter, where almost all of those hip rotators attach, you'll feel almost like there's pressure. That pressure is because you're pushing those tissues against your floor, against your yoga mat, and self-mobilizing them. So just kind of keep rocking that baby, move yourself front to back. If you find a particular spot that feels a lot of tension, I'm on mine, hold it there for a moment. Take a nice deep inhale into your belly. Exhaling out. Let's do one more breath before we change legs here. Inhale into the belly and exhale out. Then push yourself back up slowly. Drop that leg down, and then let's do that all over again on the opposite side. I'm just going to slide my bolster up and over so that it's on the left side of me so I can lean onto that with my elbow. Right leg is kind of gently out and straight, but not far out to the side into a lot of abduction. So gently start to take your left leg and begin to see if you can get that heel, that ankle area into that right elbow crease. Kind of like you'd be just sitting and holding a baby's head where your foot would be. And then with your left arm, you can kind of come around and interlace your hands if you want, or hold it on top, whichever feels comfortable for you. And then imagine that you're just kind of rocking and warming up those hip rotators right where they attach into your pelvis. So some of them attach to the front of the pelvis, some of them attach to the back of the pelvis. They all kind of have a different angulation, which is why rocking and warming up these muscles is real important. They all rotate the leg outward or inward, but their areas of touching and inserting onto the pelvis are all very different. It's why they're often dysfunctional, but they all kind of come out and attach to the outside of that hip. All right, keep rocking just a little bit longer. Imagine as you're rocking, you can see that your right leg's kind of getting longer as you're gently rotating and pistoning that pelvis in and out. And now that you've done that and kind of warmed up that outer part of that sit bone area where you start to feel that tension, now begin to kind of roll outward towards that outer hip. You'll feel that deep pressure when you get out to that greater trochanter area. So you can just kind of rock and roll the baby now side to side, not into a rotation, but side to side. You may find that leaning back and forward works better for you. Play with where you feel your tension in your hip rotators. I'm on a perfect area of tension that I know if I take a deep breath, it's going to say, all right, you win. See if you can find that at home. Take a deep inhale into your belly and exhaling out. One more nice deep breath into your belly and exhaling out. Then slowly pushing yourself back up into a seated position and gently kind of letting that left leg go out to the side. Move your bolster away from your mat. We are actually going to do an activity in a couple seconds that we use the entire length of your mat. But before we do that, let's do a simple little Supta Badakanasana or a bound angle pose, just to get that external rotation and give ourselves a little bit of stretch through our inner thighs. So bring the bottoms of your feet together as closely as you can, and then just gently kind of bring them upward towards your pelvic area. With your hands, you can interlace your hands and kind of cup them underneath the feet if you like. But what I want you to do in this position is the same thing that we just did with kind of rocking that baby. So just kind of imagine your legs right now like butterfly wings. And what you're trying to do is just really warm up those hip muscles, just like you would take a walk before you were doing any sort of stretching or strengthening program to warm up. That's what we're doing by kind of moving our legs back and forth. Now gently relax the moving back and forth of the legs. Straighten your elbows, get your spine nice and tall. Take a deep inhale and pull your body and your belly forward. And then as you exhale, bend your elbows a little bit, but keep your back straight. How far forward can you go? Feeling the stretch through the inner thighs, but keeping that low back and that upper back in a straight position. To kind of make this all happen with the bicep muscles here. Lengthen your neck now, settle your chin, gaze down to about a foot in front of your toes. Take a deep inhale here, followed by an exhale. Now let's do that one more time. Nice deep inhale in and exhale. Slowly sit yourself back up and let your legs come out and just kind of shake them for a second. All right, so we're going to be playing with a dynamic Z pose today. So if you would be so kind to watch me for a quick moment so that you can see what we're going to be working on doing, it's going to kind of make it a little bit easier for you to kind of play along with me when we start working on breathing. So Z pose is where you have one leg in internal rotation and one leg in external rotation. So what we're going to work on doing is have your pelvis to the center and back of your mat. We're going to start here with kind of leaning over a knee, leaning over a shin, leaning over a foot, and leaning back and flipping the legs and doing the same thing on the opposite side. So it's going to be a very dynamic exercise for working internal and external rotation of your legs. So now that I've said that, and you've seen how that looks, have yourself so that your right leg is forward, line the shin bone up with the top of your mat. Left leg is in internal rotation, line your shin bone up with the side of your mat. Your left sit bone will be up off the mat, but try to sit it down a tiny bit so you can feel a bit of an opening through the left hip. Now, take your entire rib cage, your shoulder girdles, your collarbones, and twist yourself to feel like your belly and your chest are straight over your right knee. Walk your hands forward, keeping your back straight. Take a deep inhale here, and then as you exhale, bend your elbows and place your belly down onto your right thigh. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin, and gaze down towards that floor. Now you should feel something in your right hip rotators. Keep your neck long, your chin gently tucked in, and take a deep inhale into your belly here. Exhaling out. And one more breath, nice deep inhale in. And exhaling out. Walking your hands under your shoulders and pushing yourself upwards. Now taking your spine, your shoulder girdles, and your collarbones and lining them up with the front of that right shin bone. Now in this position, check in where your left leg is. Allow the feet to, or the hands to come up and over of that right shin bone. Lengthen the spine. Take a deep inhale, pull the belly forward, and then as you exhale, lean up and over that shin bone. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin, gaze down at the top or bottom of your mat, however you're looking at it. Take a deep inhale into your belly and exhaling. One more breath, deep inhale into the belly and exhaling. Hands under the shoulders, push yourself back up, and no, we're not done yet. Now, take your pelvis and try to point your pelvis towards your right heel. In this position, straddle your hands up and over your right foot. So your shoulders and your chest kind of are up and over. Deep stretch for the right hip here, so go slowly. But inhale, lift your spine, belly comes forward, and as you exhale, bend your elbows. Can you get down onto your elbows, or is that a no-go today? Feel tension, don't feel pain. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin, kind of gaze in front of your right foot. Deep inhale into the belly. And exhaling out. Deep inhale into that belly. And exhaling out. Hands underneath the shoulders and push yourself up. Once you push yourself up, what I want you to do is lean yourself back onto your legs so that onto your hands, my apologies, so that your hands and elbows are directly underneath your shoulders. So you're kind of in a little bit of a reverse plank here. Now, let's work on the motor control and the muscles of our hip rotators together. So take an inhale and bring both knees up. And then as you exhale, drop them down to the left. You've got it. Inhale, both knees up. Exhale them, drop them down to the right. All right, do that again. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Inhaling up and exhaling down. One more time, ladies and gentlemen. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Very, very good. Now, just allow yourself, I'm just fixing my yoga mat here. Just allow yourself to find now that left Z pose. So as you're finding the left Z pose, go to your left shin bone first. Shin bone on the left lines up with the top or the bottom of the mat. Shin bone on the right lines up with the edge of the mat. Now in this position, the right sit bone is off the floor, but for a second, feel what would happen to your right hip joint if you tried to kind of sit that down. You can feel that tension in the hip as you're kind of opening it a little bit. All right, let's go through the same 3 positions on this left leg. So allow yourself to take the pelvis and look towards that left knee. Then allow your shoulders and your chest and your collarbones to kind of line up with where that left knee is. Walk your hands slightly forward. Take a deep inhale, lengthen the spine, belly comes forward, and then as you exhale, drop yourself so that the chest is down to the center of that knee. You should feel that gentle opening in the outside of the hip rotators here. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin, gaze down in front of your knee. Deep inhale into your belly. And exhaling out. 2 more breaths, please. Deep inhale in. And exhaling out. And 1 more beautiful breath in. And out. Hands under the shoulders, walk yourself up. Line the pelvis, the rib cage, the collarbones with the shin bone now. Walk your hands in front of the shin bone. Take that inhale, lengthen the spine, belly, bring it forward towards the calf. And then as you exhale, bend your elbows, drop yourself down onto your forearms, lengthen your neck, settle your chin, gaze to the top or bottom of your mat. Hold yourself into this position. Deep inhale into the belly. And exhaling out. Let's do one nice slow one here. Deep inhale into the belly. And exhaling out. Walking the hands under the shoulder, pushing yourself back up. And now let's kind of bring the pelvis, the rib cage, and the collarbones in line with that left heel. Now take the hands, straddle the left heel. And after you've straddled the left heel, inhale, lengthen your spine, belly comes forward. Exhale, slowly bend over. Now you're deep into your hip rotators and your hip joint here, so only go where you feel comfortable. If you can come down on your elbows, feel free to do so. Deep inhale into the belly, lengthen the neck, settle the chin, gazing in front of that left foot, exhaling out. And again, nice deep inhale in. and exhaling out. Walking your hands back under the shoulders, bringing yourself back upward, and then finding yourself leaning back again. So kind of keep your legs down and to the left, bring your hands back underneath your shoulders, so a little bit of a reverse plank. Elbows are straight, hands can be kind of rotated behind you or out to the side. You pick what you want to do, but let's work on training these internals and external rotators to get together. So hold your spine nice and still. Go ahead and tighten your abdominals here. And then take an inhale and lift the knees up. And then as you exhale, bring them over to the left. Left knee comes down, right knee comes down. Inhaling up, exhaling left. That's it. We're going to do 2 more rounds here. Inhaling up, exhaling right, and inhaling up, exhaling left. And one more time, inhaling up, exhaling right, and inhaling up, and ending with that exhale on the left. Very nice. Now, what I want you to do is we're going to go onto our belly here. So find yourself on your belly. If you have a sensitive lumbar spine that doesn't really like extension, a belly, even if you would like a bolster underneath you, might be beneficial. I'm going to kind of do without today, but you do what's best for your body at home. Once you're laying on your belly today, allow yourself to bring your feet, and imagine that your feet would be about hip distance apart. So are the knees. Bring your arms gently out to the side and kind of rest your head downward into your hands. So kind of like you're making a diamond with your hands and then you're resting your head downward. All right, so we're really going to open up through the rotators here, but more in a passive way. So here's what I want you to do. Gently kind of tighten your abdominals and kind of settle your tailbone down until you feel that point where you feel the front of your pubic bone, so the front of your pelvis touching your mat. So see if you can feel where that pubic bone touches the front of the mat. Maintain that pelvic position. Keep your left leg straight, but now with your right leg, slowly bring your right leg up and out until your knee lines up with your hip, shin bone lines up with the outside of the mat. So hopefully none of you sleep in this position because it creates a huge, tremendous imbalance of your hip rotators. But it is a nice position to stretch out through the hip capsule and the hip rotators. So now in this position, I want you to take your focus to your right hip pointer. Keep your abdominals engaged. See if you can settle that front of that pubic bone back down onto the mat. Take a deep inhale into your belly. And then as you exhale, can you get that right hip pointer to the mat? I cannot. I wish I could. See how close you can get. You can even feel it if you want. Let's do 2 more breaths here. Nice deep inhale. And then as you exhale, keeping that pubic bone touching, can you get that right hip pointer towards the floor? You should nicely feel this in your inner thigh. One more beautiful breath here. Deep inhaling in. And then as you're exhaling, try to work on settling that right hip pointer to the floor. And slowly sliding the right leg back down. Kind of just rocking your pelvis side to side for a moment, and then letting that go. Tightening the abdominals again, giving yourself a slight pelvic tilt so that you can feel that pubic bone touching the mat, touching the floor. And now let's repeat this on the left side. So on the left side, sliding the left leg up so that the knee lines up with the hip. Shin bone lines up with the outside of the mat. Keep that gentle pelvic tilt so you can feel that pubic bone touching the floor, ladies and gentlemen. Now you'll feel that stretch in your inner thigh here, but what I really want you to do is imagine where your left hip pointer is and how you would get that closer to the floor. So take a deep inhale into your belly here. And then exhaling out, can you actively work towards settling that left hip pointer towards the floor? Deep inhale into the belly. Exhaling, settling, 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 settling that left hip pointer towards the floor. And one more time here. Deep inhale into the belly. And then exhaling and exhaling as you settle that left hip pointer to the floor. Beautiful. And gently sliding that left leg back. And then again, rocking that pelvis back and forth. If you are at home and you sleep in that position, reach out to a physical therapist. The imbalance that you're creating in your hip rotators is immense, and it will only drive low back and hip joint problems. If you don't want to reach out to someone to learn how to sleep efficiently, then just check out some videos that are out there that you can learn how to kind of sleep in a better alignment. All right, so if you can, bring yourself up into an elbow stance here. So have yourself so that your elbows are directly underneath your shoulders. Hands are pointed forward, neck is long, chin is tucked in. Shoulder blades are kind of spread apart. So you don't want to be collapsed with your belly on the floor, but kind of engage through your shoulder blades here. And then in this position, bend your knees up, point your toes away. All right, so take a deep inhale. And then as you exhale, rotate the feet to the right side, but keep the pelvis mostly on the floor. So don't let yourself fully rotate the feet to the floor. That's more of a spinal twist. We're trying to stay into the hip rotators here. Inhale, coming back up to the center. And then as you exhale, just gently rotate them to the left. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale to the center. Exhaling to the right. My pelvis is staying as close to the floor as I can make it. Inhaling to the center. Exhaling to the left, again, kind of training the muscle responses of those internal and external rotators. Inhale to the center. Exhale back over to that right. One more time to the left here. Inhaling to the center, spread your shoulder blades apart if you collapsed. Exhale back over to the left. And then inhaling back to the center and then dropping the feet back down. All right, slowly make yourself into child's pose. So hands underneath shoulders, tuck the tailbone under, use your tricep strength, push yourself back into a child's pose. Just kind of rest there for a moment. As you're making your way to your child's pose, check back. Are your feet the same distance as your knees? Are your knees hip distance, 2 fists between your knees? Sit bones come to the heels. Let the tailbone settle back so you get that beautiful opening through your low back. Allow the entire spine to flex so that your chest is coming to the tops of the thighs and knees. Crown of the head comes down to the floor. Gently rest the elbows down. Gaze straight back between those legs. Take a nice deep inhale into the belly here. And then exhaling out. 2 more breaths. Deep inhale into the belly. And exhaling out. And one more nice deep inhale into the belly. And exhaling. Slowly allowing yourself to come up. We're going to go onto our side next. So find your block so that you've got support for your head. Bring yourself down so that you're laying on your left side. We're going to do our right hip rotators first, left hip rotator second. Rest yourself down onto your yoga mat so that your block is kind of gently supporting your head. You pick the position that's comfortable for you. It just allows your neck to be in a little bit more neutral. Stack your shoulders one on top of the other. You can kind of hold your hands in front of you if you want. Knees, bring them so that they're at the height of the hips and the shin bones are straight downward. Very good. So we're going to kind of do some clam work here and reverse clam work. So we're going to begin with reverse clams. And so what I want you to do in this position is keep the knees together. Take a deep inhale, and on the exhale, kind of tighten your abdominals so that you feel that your spine and your pelvis feel stable. Now, hold that position, right foot, inhale, lift the foot up towards the ceiling, but don't let your low back shorten. So keep the pelvis where it is. If you need to hold that with a hand, by all means do that. And then exhale, drop it back down. Let's go through that 4 more times here. So inhaling, allow the leg to internally rotate. That's what it's doing. And then exhale, drop it back down. Inhaling, lifting the foot, pelvis stays stable, abdominals are tight. Exhaling, dropping it back down. 2 more times. Inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, dropping. And inhaling, lifting. And exhaling, dropping. Very good. Do not move your legs. Keep your spine nice and stable. Hand can stay on the pelvis or you can interlace in front. Whatever is comfortable for your arms, that is not our focus for today's class. Point your toes up now towards your head. Squeeze your heels together. Take an inhale and lift the right knee up. And then as you exhale, bring it back down. No motion through the back of the pelvis. So if you feel yourself rotating backward, support yourself with your hand and engage through your abdominals. Inhale, lifting the leg up. Exhaling, relaxing it down. 3 more times. Inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, relaxing. Inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, relaxing. And last time here, inhaling, lifting the leg up. And exhaling, relaxing. Good. Stay on your left side. But what I now want you to do is slide your feet behind you. So what's happening when you do that is you're just basically lining your ankles up with your hip and your trunk. Now, in that position, feet are still together, but your heels are closer to the back of your mat here. We're going to go through the exact same thing. So knees stay together. Take an inhale and lift the right foot up towards the ceiling. Do not let your back lift. So keep the pelvis down as you lift through the hip. Exhale, drop down. 4 more times. Inhaling, lift. Exhaling, drop. Inhaling, lift. Exhaling, drop. And 2 more. Inhaling, lift. Exhaling, drop. And inhaling, lift. And exhaling, drop. Very good. Now point the toes up, squeeze the heels together. Keep the pelvis and spine stable. Abdominals are engaged. Take that inhale, lift that right knee up. Do not let the pelvis rotate backwards. So put your hand behind you if you need to stop the pelvis and lumbar spine from working. Exhale, come down. There are a lot of people that are weak in this position. Inhale, lift that right knee up. Pelvis stays stable, abdominals engaged. Exhale, coming down. 3 more times. Inhaling, lifting up. Exhaling, relaxing. Inhaling, lifting up. Exhaling, relaxing. And inhaling, lifting. And exhaling, relaxing. Very good. Place the hand back on the pelvis or the arm in front of you. 1 quick time here. Take that leg, lengthen it all the way out and just drop it down. Get that little bit of stretch through the outside of your hip here. Take a deep inhale into your belly. And exhaling out, lengthen the leg. 1 more time. Nice deep inhale into the belly. And exhaling out. Very good. Slide the right leg in. You can do a 180, rotating yourself to the back side. We're doing it all over again on the left leg. I'm just going to turn so that I stay facing you. Allow yourself to be on your right side. Block is for your head. Knees are starting at hip height. Shin bones line up with the outside of your mat, feet together. Your arms, you can interlace your arms in front of you, or interlace your hands with your arms in front of you, or you can take that left hand to the pelvis, Now, in this position, start with making sure you have a stable spine. So take a nice deep inhale here, and then on your exhale, tighten your abdominals, keep that spine nice and stable. Now that you're there, working on lifting the foot up first. Don't let the pelvis move. So inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale, drop it down. 4 more times. Inhaling, lift. Exhaling down. Inhaling, lift. Exhaling down. 2 more. Inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, lowering. And final time. Inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, lowering. Now, keep the heels together, toes pointed up. Back doesn't move. Abdominals engaged. So hold the pelvis so that you don't roll backwards here. Take an inhale, lift the left knee up. Pelvis stay stable. Exhale, come down. 4 more times. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. It may not seem like you're doing a lot of work, but I promise you are. Inhaling, lift. Exhaling down. And 2 more for me. Inhaling and lift. Exhaling and down. And final time, inhaling and exhaling. Very nice. Now, staying here, but just sweeping the feet behind you. So now your trunk and your pelvis, hip and ankles all line up. Keeping the hand on the pelvis if you know that you're going to overuse your back and your pelvis. Taking that deep inhale, and on the exhale, tightening those abdominals again. Knees stay together. Inhale, lift the foot up. Exhale, relax it down. 4 more times. Inhaling, lift. Exhaling down. Do not let that pelvis or back move. Inhaling, lift. Tighten the abdominals, ladies and gentlemen. Exhaling down. 2 more times. Inhaling, lift. Exhaling down. And inhaling, lift. And exhaling down. Final one, and likely most important one for everyone. This is where we get the weakest usually with our hip rotators. Keep the spine stable. Don't let the pelvis rotate backwards on this one. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, tighten those abdominals for me. Point the toes up, squeeze the heels together. Inhale, lift that left knee up. Exhale, relax. This is absolutely where I'm the weakest. 4 more times. Inhale and lift. How about you? Exhale and down. 3 more. Inhale and lift. Exhaling down. Inhaling, lift. Tighten those abdominals. Don't let that pelvis rotate. Exhale down. Last time. Inhaling and lifting. And exhaling and down. Very nice. Now, ladies and gentlemen, take your block. Allow yourself to roll over on your back. You get yourself nice and comfy with your knees bent, feet about hip distance apart. And then once you're there, have the block somewhere near you so that you're going to be able to use it in a few moments. Take your right knee to your chest though. Left leg, go ahead and straighten it all the way down today. Take a nice deep inhale here, and then on the exhale, pull that knee up and into your chest. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin, please. Take 2 deep inhales and exhales into your belly here. So deep inhale in, and then exhaling out. Very nice. Inhaling into the belly, and then exhaling out. Excellent. Now, simply bring the knee up and across so that the knee is looking like it is in the center of your chest. Hold that with your right hand. Left hand, see if you can grab that left shin bone, right shin bone, right ankle. And then in this position, lengthen the neck, settle the chin. Keep that left leg straight for me. Take a deep inhale here, and then on the exhale, pull that left ankle up toward, up towards that left shoulder. Keep that knee in the center of your chest, ladies and gentlemen. Nice deep inhale here. You're warming up. I know you are because I am. And then as you exhale, pull that right ankle towards the left shoulder. Now keep everything stable here. Lengthen the neck, settle the chin. Take that deep inhale into your belly. And then as you exhale, relaxing here. One more time, nice deep inhale in. And exhaling here. Beautiful. Left hand, release the right ankle, line everything up, hold the right knee to the chest. Slide the left foot up, release the right foot to the floor. Let's do that all over again on the opposite side. So left knee comes up and into your chest, and the right leg, just slide it straight down. That's where we're going to begin today. Take that deep inhale into the belly. And then as you exhale, pull that knee up and into your chest. Nice deep inhale in. And then exhale, pull that knee up and into your chest. Now, 2 nice deep inhales into the belly. Deep inhale in. And exhaling out. One more time, deep inhale in. And exhaling out. Beautiful. Now, with that left hand, the left knee, pull it up and into the center of your belly here. Check in that it looks like it's close to the center of your belly. Now with the right hand, grab that left shin bone or that left ankle. Lengthen the neck, settle the chin, take that deep inhale, and exhale, pull that left ankle towards that right shoulder. Straighten the right knee, please. Feel that left hip. Deep inhale here. Is your left knee in the center? Exhale, can you pull that left ankle any more? Lengthen the neck, settle the chin. Let's find the belly breath. Deep inhale into your belly. And exhaling out. Deep inhale into the belly. And exhaling out. Slowly bring the left ankle back in line. Slide the right leg up and then release the left foot to the floor. Very nice. Now take your yoga block, find it in your right hand. Take your right ankle up and over your left knee, and then take your block against your right knee. Left hand, sit on it underneath your left buttock to keep your pelvis and your spine stable as you're working through these hip rotators. So really allow yourself to sit into your left hand. If you feel that your pelvis kind of rotates a bit to the left, A-okay here. Lengthen the neck, settle the chin, take a deep inhale, and then on the exhale, push the right knee away. Find this stretch in the outside of that hip where we talked about a lot of those rotators attached to. Sit in that right hand, nice deep inhale here. Exhale, push it a little bit further. Now holding here, 2 beautiful belly breaths. Deep inhale into the belly and exhaling out. One more time, deep inhale into the belly and exhaling out. Beautiful. Now let the left hand come from underneath you. Gently place your block beside you, but don't uncross your leg. We're going to try a full thread the needle figure 4 stretch today. So take your hands, right hand, ladies and gentlemen, place it between your legs. That would be why it is called thread the needle. Figure 4, because you're making the number 4 with your trunk and your right leg. You can interlace and hold your hands behind your left thigh, or if you've got extra flexibility, you can hold to the front of your left shin. Now, wherever you are, get that right elbow in contact with that right thigh and start to push that right knee out to the side. Toes, point them up, lengthen the neck, settle the chin, take a deep inhale into all of that right stuff that you feel that tension in, and then exhaling out. One more deep inhale in and exhaling out. Good. Release your ankles. Settle the left foot back down to the floor. Uncross your legs. Find your yoga block again. Place it now in the left hand. Left ankle up and over the right knee. Right hand, sit on it so that you feel that you're holding your pelvis down onto your hand. That's going to make it all about the left hip, not about the trunk, the low back, or the pelvis. Place the block against the left knee, lengthen your neck, settle your chin, take a deep inhale here, And then on that exhale, push that left leg away. Feel it on the outside of your left hip. Sit into that right hand. One more time, deep inhale and then exhale. Can you push any further? Sit into that right hand, lengthen your neck, settle your chin. Let's breathe. Deep inhale into your belly. And exhaling out. One more time, nice deep inhale into the belly. And exhaling out. Beautiful. Release the block away from the knee. Take the right hand from underneath you. Place your block out to the side of you. Do not uncross your legs because we're going to do thread the needle or figure 4 for the left hip here. So left hand, bring it up and through the 2 legs. And then you can either interlace your hands behind your right thigh. If you have additional flexibility, you can interlace it to the top of the right shin. Sorry, right thigh, right shin, my bad. Wherever you attach or bind your hands, make sure that your left elbow still has the ability to push the left knee out. Point those toes up, lengthen the neck, settle the chin, take a nice deep inhale here and exhale. Can you pull in any more? Now find everything you feel tension in, only tension, not pain. That left glute, hip rotators, hamstrings, everything. Take a deep inhale into your belly. And exhaling out. Deep inhale into your belly. Exhaling out. Beautiful. Slowly release the feet. Slide the right foot back down onto the mat. Allow yourself to uncross your legs. Now, grab your block for a minute. Roll back over onto your right side because, of course, I forgot something, but I'm going to pretend I did it intentionally, right? In this position, right leg, just gently have it placing onto the floor. Take that left leg, slide it down for a moment and get a little bit of opening through there. Kind of forgot to do that before we changed onto our back. So just hold that stretch for a minute. Take a deep inhale into your belly and then exhaling out. Nice deep inhale into the belly and then exhaling out. Very good. Left hand, bring it to the right shoulder and then push yourself up. I'm going to say I did it intentionally because it kind of ran really nicely with a smooth flow. Okay, now grab your bolster. Bolster's going onto the mat. Block is going underneath the bolster. Place it so that the block is the flattest it can be, not into one of the higher positions, because we're going to be still working through our hip rotators in this reclined pose. When you're there, allow yourself to bring your sacrum, the middle of your pelvis, to the back of that bolster. Have a strap, a yoga strap, or some sort of scarf or something that you'll be able to bind for our final pose somewhere near you so that you don't have to get up and reach for it afterwards. And then just kind of gently place that beside you. We're not ready for it yet, but I just wanted you to have it when we need it. All right, so now in this position, bend your knees up, kind of hold the bolster to that sacral area, and then just gently let yourself come down onto the bolster. So in this position, you are reclining so that your whole entire spine, thoracic spine, lumbar spine, even your cervical spine are kind of in a supported position, but slightly upright. In this position, we're going to work through a little bit more of a calmer, more relaxed opening through the hips. You could easily do this laying flat on the mat as well. So take your left leg, straighten the left leg down, and take your right foot and place your foot to the inside of your left foot. Arms can be resting straight out, they can be resting gently down, whatever's comfortable for you. Then in this position, allow yourself to engage through your abdominals. So take that inhale, and on the exhale, tighten the abdominals. Make sure you feel that your sacrum, that center of the pelvis, is pushing into the bolster. Very good. Then take a deep inhale here, and then as you exhale, let the right knee fall out to the side. Now, if you have your abdominals engaged and the sacrum pushing into the bolster, You're only going to go so far before you start to feel the opening through that right hip. Allow yourself to lengthen your neck, settle your chin. Take a deep inhale into your belly here. Exhaling out. One more time. Nice deep inhale in and exhaling out. On the inhale, inhale the leg all the way back up and then walk the foot all the way off the side of your mat to the right side. Engage the abdominals, push that sacrum back into the bolster. Take a deep inhale here, and on the exhale, let the leg fall out to the side. You will feel it somewhere different within the hip. Go to tension, not to pain. Don't let your back arch. Take a deep inhale into your belly. Exhaling out, keep the pelvis against the bolster. One more time, deep inhale in and exhale out. Now, inhale the leg all the way up. Keep the leg there. Exhale, gently bring the right knee to touch the left knee. Can you keep that right sit bone and that right glute and that pelvis touching the bolster? Hold that position. Take a deep inhale into your belly. Exhaling out. One more breath. Deep inhale in and exhaling out. Now, inhale the right knee back up and then walk the foot all the way up and over the left leg. So now you're in kind of sort of another figure four, but you're not going to get as much movement this time. You'll see why in a second. Take a deep inhale, exhale, push the sacrum into the bolster. Now go to the right leg, take an inhale, and exhale, just let it fall outward. Where does it go? Do not let your back arch. You're engaging abdominals and you're maintaining that pelvis against the bolster. Where does it go? Take a deep inhale into your belly. Exhaling out. One more breath. Deep inhale in and exhaling out. Inhaling, lifting the right leg up. And then allowing it to uncross, slide the left leg up, slide the right leg down. Doing it all over again on the opposite side. So start with your left ankle touching the inside of the right knee. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale, tighten the abdominals, push that sacrum, that pelvis into the bolster. Take a deep inhale, and then on the exhale, slowly let the left leg fall out to the side. Don't let the pelvis rotate. Don't let the back arch. That's why you're pushing back into the bolster. Find where you are. Take a deep inhale into your belly. Exhaling out. Inhaling in. And exhaling out. Slowly inhaling, bringing that left knee all the way back up, and then walking your foot all the way out off of your mat. Abdominals, take that inhale. Exhale, tighten the abdominals, push that sacrum back into the bolster. Left leg now, take a deep inhale. And then on the exhale, let that leg fall out wherever it is. Feel it in through that hip. Let the leg be heavy, but keep the pelvis engaged. Deep inhale into the belly. And exhaling out. One more. Nice deep inhale in. And exhaling out. Now, inhale, slowly bringing the knee up. Don't change your legs or your foot. Now, exhale, bring that left knee all the way in to touch the right knee. Keep the pelvis on the bolster. So find that tension between pelvis staying on bolster, knee touching the right knee. You will feel it through your hip rotators and leg. Holding it here, deep inhale into the belly. Keep the abdominals and pelvis engaged. Exhaling here. One more breath. Deep inhale in. And exhale. Inhale, bringing the leg all the way up. Walk the foot all the way up and over the right leg. Last position. Go to the abdominals first. Inhale, exhale, tightening the abdominals, pushing that sacrum into the bolster. Now to the left knee. Deep inhale. Exhale, gently letting the knee fall out. Find the point where if you go any further, you don't let your back arch. Maintain that. Deep inhale into the belly and exhaling out. One more time. Deep inhale into the belly and exhaling out. Inhale, bringing that left leg back up, uncrossing it up and over, sliding the right leg up, doing a different type of spinal twist today. So it's really focusing on just the lumbar spine, just the pelvis, and just the hips. So walk your feet to the width of your mat. So not wider than, but to the width of your mat. Gently bring your arms out to the side. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale, let the knees drop to the floor. So feel the spine lift off the bolster. Lengthen through the left arm. Lengthen your neck and chin and gently turn your gaze to the left thumb. Now hold this position. Focus on that left knee making its way down to the floor. Take a deep inhale into your belly and the left hip. And then exhaling out. Let's do that one more time, please. Deep inhale in. And exhaling out. Slowly bring in your head back to the center. Inhale, bringing the legs all the way up. Exhale, dropping them all the way down to the left side. Feel the entire back arch off of the bolster, getting that right knee down to the floor. Lengthen through that right arm. Lengthen the neck, settle the chin, turn the gaze towards the right thumb. Deep inhale into that right hip. One last time. And exhaling out. Inhaling in. And exhaling out. Slowly bringing your head back to the center. And then inhaling those legs all the way up, using the strength of your arms and pushing yourself up into a seated position, repositioning the pelvis back next to the bolster. It would have slid away as you did that spinal rotation. And finally grabbing this beautiful strap for its final pose of our corpse pose, but doing a bound Supta Badakanasana. So take the strap and place it over where your pelvis is. So not over your back, but over your pelvis. Take your feet, please, and place your feet together so that the bottoms of your feet are. Place the strap up and under the bottom of the feet. And then pull the strap until you feel like you've got a nice, comfortable bind between your feet, your heels, your pelvis. Once you're comfortable in that position, kind of just move and hold your bolster against the pelvis. Take a deep inhale, use your arms, and as you exhale, lower yourself back onto the bolster. Allow yourself to feel the opening through the hips, through the SI joints, through the pelvis. Gently drop your arms down to the side. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin. Rest your tongue to the roof of your mouth. Now, one or both hips might be talking to you. So here's what I want you to do for this final resting pose. If it's tension, don't give in to it. Go into the tension. Feel the tension. Imagine even using a microscope. Where exactly do you feel this tension? Put every bit of focus of your mind's awareness to which area of your hips you feel this. Take a deep inhale. And then as you exhale, let that area try to relax. Try is the big word. That's why we call this practice. Focus on the tension. Take a deep inhale into your belly. And then as you exhale, imagine those hips saying, I give up, you win. 2 more deep breaths in. Focus on the tension, ladies and gentlemen. Exhaling, attempting to relax. One last time. Inhaling in. Exhaling and relaxing. Now let your body be still. No deep inhales, no deep exhales. Try to let your legs continue to be heavy. Place your tongue on the roof of your mouth. Keep your eyes gently closed, but keep your mind focused on relaxing. 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 When you're ready, start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Can't quite do circles with your ankles here, but you sure can with your wrists. Gently place your hands near your hips. Push yourself up using your abdominals and your arm strength. Gently release the legs out of the bind. Slowly allow your legs to kind of shake out for a moment. Find yourself in a nice, easy pose, legs crossed. Hands to the heart. Smile on those faces. You made it. You made it. Nice deep inhale in and exhale out. Namaste. The highest in me salutes the highest in you. Thank you for joining me.